Hi everyone, welcome to BROLIVE Success by Design. In this talk show, we discuss some powerful insights to success based on the real life learnings and success stories of different individuals because we truly believe that success can be achieved by design in your business, in your career, or in any walk of life. So, I welcome to this episode of Bro Life Success by Design. Friends, I'm delighted to tell you that we have a very special guest in our show today. Our guest is a very qualified expert in the fields of customer success, innovation, digital transformation. He is a TEDx speaker, keynote speaker, and he is an upcoming author. If I quickly tell you some highlights about our guest today, he is a PhD in management, international keynote speaker, winner of Ideas to Serve business plan competition in USA. He is an awardee of Silver Award at Edinburgh Award Scheme. He is a member of the Indian Advisory Board of the Global Research Conference Forum, GCRF, one of the top 100 speakers in 2021 as per the India in Super Speakers, the ultimate quest of India's next best motivational speaker organized by Success Gym. He was the participant of the Inspiration 2021 250 inspiring stories of stories of Inspire India. It was accredited by Asia and India Book of Records. Best Presentation Certificate awardee of Impromptu Speaking Championship 2021 by MS Talks India. He was featured in the Passion Vista magazine Hall of Fame as one of the top 20 young global leaders, who have done phenomenal work in their niche and caused a disruption in the industry. And he was one of the youngest black belt holders in Taekwondo in Muscat, Oman, and he was a national level chess player, and he was also a national level swimmer and Oxfam tall walker in 2016, who had completed 100-kilometer walk for a charity event. So I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen, to have this versatile personality as our guest today in the show Bro Life Success by Design. Hope all of you also are equally excited for meeting him. So, friends, please help me to welcome our guest for the show, Dr. Siddharth Kishore Gaur. Dr. Siddharth, if you could kindly come on camera.
Hello, how are you, Brojendro? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, Dr. Siddharth. Really great to see you. And thank you so
Thank you.
much for coming into the show. Welcome to Bro Life Success by Design.
Thank you so much, Brojendro. Especially when you start your day by listing so many good things about you, it makes your day, right? And thank you for that, Brojendro. And more importantly, the work that you're doing for the society, for the community, where you're connecting people like myself to the other people like the entrepreneurs, young and mid-sized corporate professionals, and all the people that are watching us today and adding value to their lives, making an impact in their lives. Kudos to you, Brojendro. Continue this amazing, amazing work.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth. As you know, in our show Bro Life, we normally discuss about the real life learnings and success stories of different personalities, and we are really, happy that you have accepted our invitation to come into this show, and you are in our show. And to start with, Dr. Siddharth, I would request you to take us through your journey, because hearing from the horse's mouth will be the greatest thing to go through for all of us, for me as well as for our viewers. So over to you, Dr. Siddharth.
Sure. Thank you, Brojendro. So let me go back in time. So I was born in India, in a small city in Maharashtra called as Sholapur, but I was raised in the Middle East. Muscat, Oman, to be specific. The Middle East is like my second home. Now, as you know, Oman is an Islamic country, so it has strict rules to follow. I used to study in a school where my mom used to teach. So it used to be like a home away from home. So no masti whatsoever, right? I was a very shy and introverted kind of a person. For example, because it was a co-ed school, I used to always sit on a bench which is right next to the wall. Why? Because at least on one side of me, which is on my right, there'll be no person sitting, be it a boy or a girl. Okay. When I used to go for birthday parties of friends, there's a pie chart that used to be constructed in my mind. And that pie chart, 2% of that used to be, hmm, aaj kya khaun? What should I have today to eat? 28% of that pie chart used to be, what should I talk? And 70%, the major chunk used to be, when should I go to my friend or his parents, as in the host, and tell him, when can I leave? Now, I was always a straight A student. But still, when my teachers used to ask any questions, I used to hesitate to raise my hand, in spite of knowing the answer. So that was the kind of a person that I was while growing up during my childhood. My parents, I'm really grateful to them because they just not only focused on making me academically very sound, but also on making me a polished lad from all different angles or all different aspects. So they put me in a lot of co-curricular activities. They put me in swimming, they put me in football, in piano, gymnastics, you name it, I was there. They paid particular attention to me, giving my best not only in academics but to my overall development. For example, as you stated, I am a national level swimmer. I used to be in the water for 5 to 6 hours when I was training. Okay. But I did not sweat, obviously, because I'm in the water. But my mom was right next to the pool with a stopwatch. She used to run along with me as I was taking my lap, back and forth, so that I can push my own limits and break my own records. She used to sweat profusely so that I can get a medal on my around my neck. Or for that matter, the first time, today everybody knows me as a communicator, as a public speaking coach, as the charismatic storyteller, but the journey was not that simple. So I still remember that first time when I went on the stage. My mom took my rigorous practice for 2 to 3 hours for almost 3 weeks. Okay. And I went on the stage. My palms were sweaty. My heart was racing at a very rapid pace, as if it's going to pop out of my chest. My principal was looking at me with a very grumpy face. And I was short at that point of time. And I didn't even know whether I'll reach the mic. I didn't even know how to operate the mic. But I still went there. I stood on the podium and I still remember the topic as well. It was called People Are Like Potatoes. And you know why? It is not because of the physical structure of people, some people being fat or stout. No. People are like potatoes of their quality. Because when potatoes are transferred from the farm to the market where they are sold, the journey is not easy. There's a bumpy ride in which the smaller potatoes they trickle down to the bottom and the bigger and the stronger ones they always stay on the top. And that was the message I was trying to drive. But when I went on the stage, I became completely blank. I mean, I just lost track of what is it that I have to say. And then for a couple of seconds, there was complete silence. And then there were 3,000 students. And then behind that, I saw my mom right at the end of the auditorium. And she was looking at me with a lot of hopes that I have taken my son's practice. I am confident on his skills. He will not let me down. So then I mustered all my courage and I started speaking. And that is the first time I spoke on stage. Of course, that was not my best performance, but it was my first time. And the first time for anything is always special, isn't it? Now, in case, Brojendra, you or the people that are listening to me right now, they're thinking that, hey, this sounds like a very fairy tale story, hunky dory, everything is so goody goody. No, I had my own set of challenges and failures, right? So I went for engineering after my school. I am an electronics and telecommunication engineer. And during my second year, I failed in two of the core subjects, which is engineering, graphics, and applied mechanics, because I had to undergo ragging in my college. Then, with great difficulty, I passed with flying colors. I went for my master's to the US. And then I decided to return back to our motherland to pursue civil services, UPSC, because I always wanted to be a bureaucrat and help the people of my nation. So I burned the midnight oil for 3 long years, which typically people who go to the US don't do. Typically, they settle down there. But I took this calculated risk. I came back because my purpose was bigger than me. But in spite of burning the midnight oil for 3 long years, I failed in clearing the exams. Thereafter, I started my own startup, which was into promoting low cost, innovative medical devices in our country to help the poor and the downtrodden. But that too failed. Now, at this juncture of my life, I had two choices, Prajendro. Either, firstly, to accept my fate and give up and probably lead a mediocre life, or to do something about my situation. So I decided to take the second option. I started taking corrective actions by upskilling myself. I cracked my first interview and got into the topmost IT company in the world. And then I have been in the IT industry for 12 plus years across different roles of sales, marketing, customer success, and digital transformation. And in this journey, what I realized, Brojendro, is life is all about trying all your options. Even though you know you're set to fail, because trying takes you one step closer to a new lesson learned. And this shift was brought to my mind when I read the story of Thomas Edison. I'm sure you know who Thomas Edison is, Brojendro, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So I'm not going to tell you the cliched story of how he invented the bulb. No. But it was the year 1914 when Thomas Edison's laboratory in West Orange, New Jersey, caught fire. In front of his eyes, he saw his entire life's work come to ashes. His son Charles came to him and said, Dad, look, our factory's caught fire. What do we do? But he looked very calmly and he smiled at the fire. And you know what he told his son Charles? He looked at his son Charles and he told him, Son, go and get your mother and her friends because they will never see a fire like this again. $2 million at that point of time was the damage that was done. And the insurance company was willing to give him only one third of that cost. Now, at that point of time, any other normal human being would have wept, become angry, or quit altogether. But what did Thomas Edison do? When he went to the factory site, which was now completely burnt to ashes, with his wife was looking at him with disappointment and dejection. He told her, Dear, don't worry. All our mistakes have got burned to ashes. It's time to start all over again. Right? And in just 2 weeks, he came up with his new invention, which is the phonograph. Right? So I learned from him that instead of putting our energies into begrudging what has happened to you, learn to love your fate. What if you fail? Great. If you fail, like I did, not once, not twice, not thrice, infinite number of times that I can recall, it's time to learn and move forward. And please don't give yourself excuses like I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I don't have the support, I have too many responsibilities on my shoulder, I don't have the right set of skills, and so on and so forth. Please, the bitter truth is, if you do not try at all, it will definitely never happen. Like Wayne Gretzky, the Canadian ice hockey player, says, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I repeat, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So, that in a nutshell was my life's journey, Rojendra.
Amazing. So, starting from a different country, then again coming back here, starting something of your own, and then learning from your mistakes. And the most powerful thing, what I heard from you, for our listeners also, I think it's a very important, powerful point to note is that learn from the mistakes, and always take learnings from your mistakes and move on and utilize the learnings so that you can again do better in your future. So that is something which I take as a very powerful point from the entire journey. Very, very inspiring journey, and a person who has also uh, you know been in the sports sector, and who had uh, raised to the level of a national player in the swimming and in the chess. It's really, really amazing. And the kind of work you are doing in terms of the public speaking and helping people is really, really marvelous. And so I'm really looking forward to have some more insights about the journey and the learnings which you picked up, which will be helpful for all our viewers. So the next follow-on question with that would be, Dr. Siddharth, would you please share your views on public speaking? Why is it so important for achieving success? Why is it so important to be very strong in public speaking to achieve success, not only in the business, be it in the career or be it in any kind of profession anybody is into? Why it is so important, and how can somebody develop the skills of public speaking? If you can quickly share some of the tips, because you are the expert in that particular profession, particular sector, so hearing from you will be really valuable for our viewers. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Brajendra. And that's a very important question that you asked me. And yes, I'm glad that people consider me as an expert, but I am a humble student. I'm a humble learner. I believe that there is never any end to learning. So I keep on sharpening my own skills as well. Right. But coming to your question, after coaching more than 200 plus people on public speaking and communication, I've come to realize that there are certain commonalities between each and every one of them. Okay. And these commonalities are something like, when we go and meet new people, it makes us nervous. You feel out of place. Many times you find it very difficult to start a conversation with somebody. In fact, you try and hide so that you can avoid talking to people. Sometimes you struggle to find the right words to express yourself. You don't feel confident while speaking in a group. In fact, you feel if you start talking, people might doze off. Like me, you know the answer to the question asked by your teacher or asked by your boss, but yet you do not lift your hand. Or you are afraid to face the audience on the stage. You are nervous during an interview, or you are nervous while interacting with the opposite gender, maybe during a date. These are the common things that I have noticed coaching so many people. And the message that I give to each and every one of them is we have forgotten one very important aspect. That aspect is that we are all lions. We are all lions. And when I say lion, all those amazing women that are watching this show, I mean lionesses as well. All of us, according to me, are the kings or queens of the jungle. At least we are born as lions or lionesses. Now, Rajendra, as you know, lions are not the biggest animals on this planet. They're not even the fastest. They're not even the strongest. Then still, they are the king of the jungle. Why is this? Why is this, Brajendra? What do you think? Why do you think the lion is still the king of the jungle?
Probably they are able to play the game in the best manner. Maybe they are able to outsmart the opponent. Maybe they are
That
in
is one
control of
thing.
their senses.
Yes, yes, that is partially true. But there is a more deeper reason for that. The deeper reason for that, bro, is the lion is courageous. Courage is what
Right,
defines the personality of the lion.
right,
Let's say we call the lion courage. What does courage do? Courage roams around freely in the jungle. Courage rules the jungle. All the other animals alike respect courage, the lion or the lioness. No one can mess with courage. Courage walks with pride and substance. Courage does not walk with his head down. Courage speaks up like a king by roaring. Knowing that you and I were born as the kings or queens of the jungles, are we actually living that kind of a life, Brojendra? So whether we are in business, we are in job, we are a homemaker, we are a student, it just doesn't matter. Many of us just put our head down and do whatever is asked of
right.
us. To our teachers, not asking questions, our bosses, our jobs, to our own limiting beliefs, our own conditioning because of the education system, the media, to the system which tells us to go get a degree, get a job, get married, have a car, have a house, have kids, and that's about it. Majority of the people unfortunately die this way. I
Absolutely.
was born as a lion, Brojendra. My parents told me that I can do whatever I want. But it was only 5 years back that I realized that I was stuck in this amazing, beautiful golden cage, like many of us here. And then I started on my self development journey and soon realized that in order to grow, we need to roar, we need to speak up, and we need to speak confidently. And that is the first reason, Projendro, to answer your question, that why we should learn public speaking. We must learn public speaking to grow professionally, period. Doesn't matter if you are in the corporate or in entrepreneurship. We all have to work hard. There's no rocket science there. If you work hard, you will grow. But the moment you learn how to share your learning with the world, for example, how I'm sharing my learnings with the world, on how you can grow with hard work, you will grow exponentially. That's the first reason. And the second reason, Projendro, I personally believe that we are all salespeople. We are all salespeople. It doesn't matter if you're a 4-year-old persuading or convincing your mom to buy you 4 or 5 lollipops additional. It doesn't matter if you're a mom who's telling her kids to do the homework or make their bed. It doesn't matter if you're a politician giving a speech to ask the people in the constituency to vote for you. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer who is fighting a case on behalf of their client and trying to convince the judge to take a decision in their favor. It just doesn't matter. We are all born negotiators. We are all born persuaders. And isn't that the job of salespeople? And that brings me to a very important point that we all miss. One common thing in all successful salespeople is that they are great orators, right? If you have to differentiate yourself from the crowd, if you have to stand out, you have to learn public speaking, period. And if there are two people with the same skills, same experience, same qualifications, but one of them has great communication skills, public speaking skills, he would any day be a better fit for the organization than the other person. As Warren Buffett says, public speaking is the one skill that can immediately take your market value up by 50%. Not me, one of the billionaires of the world, right? And coming to the second part of your question, to give some tips, well, I can give a lot of tips on public speaking, and it will take hours and hours together. But one tip that I would like to give each and every listener now, or those who are going to be listening to the recorded version of this interview, is that great public speakers are great storytellers. Okay? When you connect with your audience, capture their emotions, and that is only possible by means of storytelling. And I teach this to all my public speaking mentees, a very simple methodology which I would like to share with everybody listening here. It's called as the triple S method of storytelling. SSS, where first S stands for setup, the second S stands for struggle, and the third S stands for success. Can I give an example, Brujendra, if you're fine with it?
Absolutely, Dr. Siddharth, all yours.
Sure. So now I'll tell you how we can take any part of our life, somebody else's life, our story, somebody else's story, and put it in this SSS framework. So I'll give you an episode of my life. Okay. Now this is in the SSS framework. It was the year 2018. I had just migrated to Dubai, a strange city with strange people. My mom warned me before I went to Dubai, do not trust the unknown. Well, I just started with my first job in Dubai, and I used to avoid taking taxis because taxis were very expensive. I still remember that day. It was 58 degrees centigrade. It was so hot. If you break open an egg and put it on the road, it'll become an omelette. So I finished my first customer meeting wearing a similar kind of blazer, carrying my laptop bag, and I started walking towards my next, which was 8 kilometers apart. For the first 1 to 1.5 kilometers, I was fine. But then I started sweating profusely. My throat became dry. I put my hand in the laptop bag, took out my bottle of water, but I saw that too was empty. My head started spinning. I started feeling dizzy. And just before I was about to collapse, I started praying to God, God, please rescue me. And suddenly, a taxi with a well-built taxi driver came and stood right next to me. He opened the passenger side window and said, Bhaijan, aapko kahin chhod दूं? I looked at him with doubt. Why is this guy trying to help me? He looked back at me and said, Bhaijan, aapse paise nahi lunga. Aaiye. At that point of time, I decided to trust the unknown. I opened the rear seat car door and I entered the car. To my surprise, he put the blower of the AC to the full speed. He even gave me a small bottle of water to drink from. And he dropped me to my next venue. And to date, myself and Imran, I repeat, to date, myself and Imran, the Pakistani taxi driver, I repeat, the Pakistani taxi driver, are great friends. And I decided from that day onwards, sometimes you should trust the unknown. You see, S, where you set up. It was a hot, sunny day. It was 58 degrees. The struggle, I was about to collapse. I was about to become unconscious. Success, I trusted the unknown. I reached my destination safely. I made a new friend. So that's one tip I would like to share with all the viewers today.
Very, very powerful, Dr. Siddharth. The way you have explained, very straight and blunt. If you have to outsmart your opponents, or if you want differentiation from your competition in your profession, in your business or career, or if you want to be like a lion amongst all the other animals, maybe larger in size or more stronger than you, I think these tips which you have shared is going to help our viewers in a big way. And I will again go through, if there is any uh, question which comes in the comment box, I will again read out for their benefit. And just to
Sure.
move on with the conversation, Dr. Siddharth, again, another thing I would like to request you is that another area where you are dealing with is the customer success, which is a very, very large subject, I would say, and very, very critical for winning in business or winning in the career in today's time. And if you could share some insights about the customer success, how is it so important, why it is so critical in business, and so how this customer success can be achieved, some of the steps or some of the techniques, tips and tricks, if you could share, it will be great for our viewers. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Brojendro. Customer success is very close to my heart. Being in sales, typically the mentality is once you sell it to a customer, then tata bye bye, you know, and that is when you lose the trust. And any relationship, be it personal, be it professional, is always on the basis of trust. Don't you agree with me, bro?
Absolutely.
Right? But like you rightly said, bro, it is a very deep subject. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to simplify it as much as I can. Okay, whether you're an entrepreneur looking to launch a new business, or you're a professional looking to make the most out of your current career, everybody, the most important thing for them and their businesses to grow is customer success. Now, before I get into the details and nitty-gritties of how you can achieve customer success, it's important to understand what is customer success so that we are all on the same page, right? Customer success is all about creating a long-term relationship between you, your product or service, and your customers. That's it. It's about understanding who your customers are and what they need from you. It's about providing them value through personalized, tailored experiences that keep them coming back for more. And more importantly, customer success is about going above and beyond for your customers by helping them reach their goals faster than ever before. Okay? Now, why is this important for any organization? See, we all have heard these statistics, but I'll reiterate that acquiring a new customer costs 5 times more. I repeat, 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. In fact, statistics also say that if you increase your customer retention by 5%, you can increase your profits from 25 to 95%. Statistics also say that the success rate of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the success rate of selling to a new customer is just 5 to 20%. Right? So, three reasons why customer success is important. Firstly, any business, if it wants to build brand loyalty and trust with your existing customers and also attract new ones, very important to have customer success. Secondly, if you provide proper customer experience and solve the customer's problems quickly, you can ensure that your customers remain happy and satisfied with whatever you have to offer. Thirdly, this not only boosts your sales, but also increases your customer retention rates, which ultimately leads to greater profits, as I mentioned, in the long run. And I love explaining things through examples, bro. And
Absolutely.
we should try to model how the international companies are ensuring customer success. And those best practices should be brought to our country as well. For example, have you heard of this sunglass brand called as Maui Jim? Sunglass brand, Maui Jim. Have you heard of it, bro? It's a luxury
Yeah.
sunglass brand,
Right.
right? Very expensive sunglasses, shades, goggles, whatever you call them. But wearing those Maui Jim sunglasses makes you look very cool. And they're very expensive. Okay. So what happened? One of their clients in the US, his puppy, his dog, his puppy, he
Right.
actually
Right.
sued the fame of the Maui Jim sunglasses. So the owner was very upset. He wrote Maui Jim an email. Within 15 minutes, he got a reply. Please courier it to so and so office, so and so address. We will replace it for you free of cost in 7 days. That's it. In 7 days, every day he got an intimation what stage of the replacement it is or the supply chain it is. And when he got the box of the Maui Jim sunglasses, the brand new sunglasses, when you opened it, he was really surprised because along with the sunglass, he also saw a milk bone dog biscuit. Okay, a milk bone dog biscuit with a winking mark, arc mark, suggesting that hey, next time please keep this for your dog and this away from your dog. Right? That is the kind of wow customer experience that we're talking about. That is the kind of wow customer service we're talking about. Take, for example, Southwest Airlines. There was this lady who was the bridesmaid. Her sister was getting married in Costa Rica. So she wanted to travel from Texas to Costa Rica. She took Southwest Airlines. Okay. Southwest Airlines are known for amazing customer experience. But the important thing is when she reached Costa Rica, she remembered she forgot her dress in Texas. So now she was in panic mode. In 2 days, the wedding is. What should she do? She called up all the courier folks. They said it'll take them at least 4 or 5 days to deliver the dress. She was really upset. Anxiety crept in. So she tweeted to Southwest Airlines to help her. And Southwest Airlines got her the dress in 16 hours, a day in advance before the wedding. Right? Take Comcast, for example. Again, an American company. They are the United States' largest video, high speed internet, phone providers to residential customers like you and me, right? So, what was happening? One customer like you and me was interacting with their customer service executive in Michigan. And while interacting, the customer service representative realized that the speech of the person talking on the other side of the phone became incomprehensible. He was not able to understand. And he had the experience that when this kind of thing happens, typically it's a symptom of a stroke. So he did not give up. What he did, he immediately took his personal mobile phone and started tracking down the emergency response team, the fire department, all those people, and continued talking to that man till they reached there because it was a medical emergency and they saved that person's life. This is wow customer experience. This is the kind of customer service where you need to go above and beyond, right? And to answer the last part of your question, how do you achieve customer success? There are, I would, countless number of ways of doing it. But I believe
I
that
think, Commissioner, can I just
sure,
interrupt you here? Very interesting points you have mentioned. Some of the examples of the highest level of efforts to achieve customer satisfaction. You have mentioned about a sunglass brand. You have talked about Southwest Airlines example. Those are the some highest levels of degrees where service provider can go to achieve customer satisfaction or solve customer issues. Where here I would like to just come back, like, for the entrepreneurs or startup entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs who would like to start a business, like, for a situation in typically in India, what are the roadblocks in achieving or in having this kind of customer satisfaction, or having the level of customer success for them, what are the 2 3 things they should keep in mind, which can be a roadblock in
Hmm.
achieving this? Because you have very rightly mentioned that having this level of customer success or customer centricity, but definitely it is going to help achieve success in whatever they do. But what are the roadblocks to achieving this kind of customer success?
Thank you, Brojendra. Again, a very interesting question. There are primarily three roadblocks that I see in our country specifically. If we have to reach the next level of customer success, especially for startup entrepreneurs, the first roadblock is, these two things that God has given us are ears. He has given us 2 ears and one mouth, which means He has given us the ability to hear more or listen more and speak less, right? The first roadblock is, especially these startups, they don't listen to their customers. The most important part of achieving customer success is understanding what your customers need. This means listening to their feedback, taking note of their questions and concerns, being open to changing the way you do things if needed. And this should not happen just in the retail or brick or mortar stores. This should happen on all channels, be it your salesperson meeting them, be it on the call, be it through emails, be it through SMS, through social media, online and offline. They need to listen to their clients across their channels. And if you need feedback, don't be afraid, because when you're starting off, you have fewer clients. So don't be afraid to reach out to them directly to take their feedback, because this will show them that you care about their opinion, and also that you want them to have the best experience possible with your company. That's the first thing. We don't listen to our customers. Second, we don't communicate clearly with our customers. Have a clear communication plan in place so that both you and your customer knows what's going on exactly at all times. Send out regular updates via email or text message. What does it cost? It's dirt cheap, so that everyone is aware of the changes or developments in the process. Make sure everyone understands what the next steps are going to be if there is a problem, so that it does not blow out of proportion, so that there are no surprises for you and them both. And don't forget about aftercare. Letting customers know how much you value them, even after they have made their purchase, will make them your repeat customers for life. And the third roadblock that I see, especially for startup entrepreneurs or solopreneurs who are starting off their business, is they fail to keep their promises. They fail to keep their promises. Delivering on time is key when it comes to customer success. Nothing makes a customer feel more appreciated than knowing, hey, I can trust your company, I can trust your word, especially in today's fast paced world. Make sure every promise is kept. And if something is going wrong somewhere, if something is taking longer than expected, communicate as soon as possible so that there isn't any confusion or frustration down the road. This will help convert your customers from buyers to clients, from clients to brand advocates, from brand advocates to loyalists, and ultimately to raving fans. All in all, I would like to tell all these amazing people who are listening to us, don't be afraid. Get out there today and start making each and every one of your customers feel like a VIP. Period. I hope that answers your question, Brojendra.
Very, very well explained, Dr. Siddharth. Thank you so much for that. I think while answering to this question, you have also answered third question or the follow-up question which I had for you, like some of tips and tricks to achieve customer success. I think when you were explaining about this, you had already talked about some of the tips and tricks to achieve customer success, or winning customers for life. And another thing you had very rightly mentioned is that not keeping the promises to our customers is another example which can impact customers' perception about the brand or service. So it's very critical for us that we do not overpromise. Don't make any promise which you cannot keep. So
Absolutely.
at times, momentarily we have the tendency of making over promising the promises which we cannot keep in the long run. So we should be very careful about making those promises to our customers if we really would like to have a long term success in our business. So very very important points. So if you would like to share a few of the tips and tricks on how to achieve customer success, which you have not mentioned in while answering this question, you would please share, Dr. Siddharth.
See, there are many ways of doing it. Okay, I will not go into the technicalities of how you can create customer success plans for them. Okay, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you have a conversation with your customer, understand what are the KPIs that are important for them. Is it increasing
Mm-hmm.
sales? Is it increasing the customer retention, loyalty, advocacy, whatever it is? Understand their
Mm-hmm.
KPIs, their goals. Okay, and then basis their goals, identify where they are right now in terms of those KPIs. Okay, let's say they want to push their customer retention rates from 3% to 5%. So we know that the current is 3%, the aspirational is 5%. Okay, what is a success plan? Customer success plan is a plan which bridges the gap between what is now and what is going to be then. So what are the activities or tasks that you as an organization will do to help them to move from that 3 to 5%? That is going a little bit into the nitty gritties, but those are some of the things you can do. Important point to remember, right, is whatever your organization does, you have to keep your customer at the center of everything you do, period. If you do that, automatically the customer is happy, you are happy, the shareholders, if it's a public limited company, or the investors, if it's a startup, they all are happy. Everybody goes home happy, right? So just a couple of things, but yes, there are a lot of ways we can do that, but this is just one example of achieving customer success.
Absolutely. So very well explained again, Dr. Siddharth. Put your customer at the center of everything of your business, then definitely you will achieve customer success. Here, another, if I have to break down the point of customer satisfaction, two aspects is if I have to just look at. One aspect can be looking at like giving the customer more happiness or more satisfaction,
True.
uh, icing on the cake, or giving a very very aspirational kind of a customer satisfaction level. On the other hand, solving customer issues immediately as fast as
Absolutely.
possible, solving their
Absolutely.
problems. I think both the
Absolutely.
things are very very critical to achieve customer satisfaction according to me.
Absolutely.
So I hope you also agree on that.
Absolutely. So we call it as the customer turnaround time, the resolution time. Since the problem has come in, the case has come in, how quickly you're able to extinguish the fire before it spreads out of proportion, burns your reputation, burns your company. We don't need that to happen. So how can we reduce those time periods? Absolutely. Very well mentioned, Projendra.
Thank you, Dr. Siddharth. Just the next question which is coming in my mind is, it is a time of technological transformation, digital transformation, whatever we call it. It's a
Sure.
time of innovation, basically. And those
Absolutely.
organizations, those businesses which are able to tap on this particular innovation effectively, timely, they are able to succeed in their business and rise. And at the same time, we are seeing many brands becoming irrelevant, not invisible in the market very quickly because they are
True.
not tapping into this kind of a transformation. So, Dr. Siddharth, I would like to hear from you, like how important it is for any business, to be innovation, to have innovation or creativity on a regular basis, and to work on that, and also the impact of this digital transformation. This is a question I never miss to ask from my guests, whenever I have the opportunity. Today I'm asking you, like, why is so it is so critical into this situation, and how this can be leveraged. If you could just share a few points about the opportunities, which is brought in by this digital transformation for the new businesses or for career professionals, and any advice from your side, like to tap on this transformation which is going on, it would be a great value addition for our viewers. Over to you, Dr. Siddharth.
Thank you, Brojendra. So digital transformation is very close to my heart because when I was working as a digital transformation advisor in Dubai in Oracle, I had a very strategic role to play. Okay, where every aspect of your customer, be it their own customer's experience or their employees' experience, was being taken to a whole new level by the use of amazing world-class technologies. Yes, digital transformation is a buzzword which is taking the business world by a storm. Many people, unfortunately, still don't understand what this digital transformation means. So, firstly, I would like to help them understand by simplifying it again. Okay. At a very basic level, digital transformation means using new technologies to create a better customer and employee experience. But what does digital transformation need? Digital transformation requires embracing change. And that can be a little scary, especially for startups, especially for young professionals. It can be scary. But what you need to do is take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture because digital transformation is only part to success today. So what happens when a company goes through this digital transformation? What do? They implement digital solutions to change its organization positively. Now, these transformation projects can be tiny, they can be big, they can be mid-size, any size, doesn't matter. Depends from company to company, goals to goals, objectives to objectives. Okay. Simple thing to understand is there are four main aspects that digital transformation comprises of. And one is closely connected to what we just spoke about, which is customer experience. Okay. Digital transformation should improve the service that the customer gets from a company. For example, you rightly mentioned, Projinto, how can we reduce the turnaround times so that the clients get the best possible resolution in the fastest time possible? That is a transformation. Even when that transformation affects the internal processes, management should focus carefully on what is the end result that they want to achieve. The end result is customer experience. Number two, digital transformation is all about data and analytics. How we can take data coming from different channels, offline channel, online channel, your ERP systems, your SAP, your CRM systems, any system, or even from the World Wide Web, where you're listening to your clients. How can you take all of their data, slice and dice it using digital transformation or using these amazing digital technologies so that you can take sound decisions for your company, for your clients, for your employees? The third important aspect after customer experience and data and analytics is cloud. Everybody is moving to the cloud today. Cloud is vital for digital transformation, be it the provisioning of the softwares that we use or the data that we can share. It wouldn't have been possible a decade ago. But all of that is possible today because of cloud computing. And last but not the least is your smartphones. Today, everything is mobile. Today, I can sit here and take a decision of how to run my business from my phone. Everything is on your fingertips. That is digital transformation for the employees, for your clients. It travels with you. And when you do these kind of processes, when you embrace this kind of a change, right, there are a couple of things that happens to your organization, that magic that happens. Your customer experience improves, your reach in the market, it improves, your supply chain, that improves, the productivity of your employees and their job satisfaction, that improves, your marketing improves, and most important for all the startups over here, or startup entrepreneurs over here, it saves costs, which is very important, very critical, especially for the startups, right? And Brojendra, I would again like to give some examples if that's fine with you,
Absolutely. Please go
right?
ahead.
I love learning from the case studies of international companies of what they are doing in these particular aspects. And if we can model that, we can we can take our nation to a whole new level. Everybody has heard of IKEA. Brojendra, you have heard of IKEA,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They dominate the furniture industry. because they have amazing quality furniture at reasonable prices. IKEA stores have started opening up in India all over, right? But before, a couple of years back, IKEA stores used to be pure brick and mortar stores. But today, they have focused or channelized all their energies on the e-commerce side of things, on the digital side of their business. And you know what has happened because of this? Their sales have tripled. Now their brick and mortar stores are just like fulfillment centers. So somebody places an order, they go and collect it from there, or they get the order delivered to their house. That's it. In some countries, in India, it's yet to come. In some countries, customers can now pay for their purchases without even going through the checkout. Right? They can just walk past with their furniture. That is digital transformation. Have you heard of Capital One Bank, Projendro?
Sorry, can you come back again?
Have you heard of this bank called as Capital One?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. It's one of the largest banks in the US. Okay.
Okay.
What they have done, they have incorporated artificial intelligence technologies to provide
Mm-hmm.
brilliant customer service. They are one of the first banks to manipulate Amazon's Alexa enabled devices. So, what they
Okay.
can do, I, as a client of theirs, will ask Alexa, "Hey, Alexa, what's my balance? Hey, Alexa, when is my next car payment due? Hey, Alexa, what's the due date of my next credit card bill?" And customers get answers even without logging to online banking. That is digital transformation. Nike, just do it. We all wear those sports shoes. We love wearing Nike, right? Global sportswear leader. What have they done? They have also started focusing on becoming a direct to consumer brand, D2C. They have reduced their retail partnerships. They are working towards creating more online sales. So what happens is anybody like you and me, Projendro, has it happened to you, Projendro, that you were surfing on the internet? Okay, let's say you want to buy a new shoe. Okay, and then you started searching on Google for buying a new sports shoe for yourself. Okay, let's say your own old ones are worn out. Okay, you search, then probably you go to some news sites, Times of India or something like that. You read some article there, you read some sports related news there, right? Then you go to some other websites where probably some gaming websites, for example, or some sports websites. You do all of that, but when you do all of that, the item that you had looked at, its advertisement starts flashing in front of your eyes. Has it happened with you?
Yeah, absolutely. AI
Yeah,
driven pop-ups advertisements which are there.
absolutely. This is the smart way companies are doing digital transformation. They gather everything and anything about you. Hey, this is Brojendro. Okay, basis his browsing pattern, he loves sports and he especially loves tennis. And looking at his website, he loves the color blue. Okay, he bought a shoe from us 4 years back from this particular store because all the data is synchronized, right? Digital transformation. But now I think it's a good time for us to pitch him a brand new shoe because he looks like a person who loves playing tennis or maybe climbing mountains, hiking, whatever. Basis all of this data, they create a customer avatar for you, Brojendro, and they show you the right kind of shoe. And it is highly probable that you'll click that shoe and even purchase that shoe because they know exactly when, where to show you what. And if you bought that shoe, maybe they'll show you examples of socks or caps or water bottles, right? To upsell or cross sell to you, right? Happen to you, Brojendro?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why can't smaller organizations think big like the Nikes of the world? Because this is a technology, this is a transformation that is available to one and all. And that is what we should aspire to do if we have to achieve digital transformation, right? What was the last question you asked, Brojendro? Sorry, I lost my train of thoughts.
Yeah. So the last question is like, how one can tap on these
Right.
opportunities. I think you have almost covered while
Yeah.
answering to the earlier question on that. If you have anything to add, you can please.
Well, whenever I go for any client meetings and I talk to them about digital transformation, there are three A's that I tell them about the triple A method. Okay. I love creating these frameworks because they stick in the mind. Okay. So I talked about the triple S framework for storytelling. This is the triple A framework for digital transformation. The first is automation. Anytime you find an opportunity to automate, Automate. Automate routine tasks. Automate those things that can take away some of the tasks or some of the workload from your employees so that they can focus on what's most critical for your business. Automate things for your clients so that they don't have to spend hours and hours trying to figure out how to resolve a problem going through your FAQ page. No, automation. That's the number one key. Use systems, use applications that can help you automate your business, or at least a portion of your business, a segment of your business. Second, awareness. Create opportunities for continual awareness via training and learning for your employees. Get your staff up to speed on the solutions your leaders are trying to implement in the organization. Send them on specialist courses. Introduce learning opportunities within the company. If the staff gets stuck, if your employees get stuck in the old ways of doing things, nothing will change. They will not be willing to adapt to new challenges, and the organization will not grow. Period. So automate, awareness, and the third A is um, consider creating alternative business models. Create alternative organizational structures. Right? I gave you so many examples of Nike, of I gave you example of IKEA, so on and so forth, right? What do these examples illustrate? These illustrate either a complete digital transformation or the digital transformation of particular segment or section of your company. But the important thing is you need to think of what is working and what can work better. Okay, if we have this current business model, which is a B2B, can we explore B2C? Can we explore a D2C kind of a business model? Can we change our organization structure to make it more lean and more productive? These are things which are also part of digital transformation. So automation, awareness, and alternate business models.
Amazing. So AAA model is something which is going to be very helpful for our viewers. Dr. Siddharth, thank you for those insights. I think we are in the best of the years or best of the eras where we are doing our business, because there was a time when if somebody wants to grow business from 1 crore to 2 crore, it used to take years and decades. But nowadays
Absolutely.
any company from nowhere can become world's biggest company within just a decade, maybe even lesser than that. So
Absolutely.
as you have very rightly mentioned, it's the time of digital transformation. If you talk about cloud computing, or if you talk about the other transformation opportunities, which are really really big. And the first thing which we need to do for tapping this is you need to embrace the change. When you talk about
True.
embracing the change, recently I had been to a TEDx speaking
Yes.
event wherein I was invited as a speaker, wherein I have spoken on the topic of how is important it is to embrace discomfort to grow in our life.
Absolutely.
I would suggest our viewers, if you can just go to TEDx YouTube channel, and if you search for embrace discomfort to grow in life, definitely you will be able to see that speech of mine there in the TEDx YouTube channel. Coming back to the topic, I think very rightly suggested by Dr. Siddharth, whether it is a large organization you are running, or it is a small business you are having, or you are in maybe job career professional, uh, you are a job career professional, you should look at the opportunities, how you can employ this change or digital, how you can embrace this digital transformation. If I have to just cite an example, like the driverless cars are, in reality it is there in many markets, and it is going to be there globally very soon. Some one and I think 1 decade before I traveled to Dubai, I saw the train being run without a pilot, over there, the local
Yes.
train. So it was already there 1 decade ago in Dubai. We will see the commercial companies like stock deliveries, etc., happening through drones. Uh, those are on the cards. We are going to see that very soon. While I'm talking about these transformations in the larger scales, we can look at the smallest of the scales of adopting a digital way of working. For example, if you have a very small business of selling few clothes or any of the items which you produce or you sell to your customers, why don't you use your social media platform, maybe Facebook or Instagram? You can go on a professional mode. You can do paid advertisements to Facebook or Instagram, or even you can simply share your product on your Facebook and Instagram instead of wasting your time just to fiddle on those platforms. If you share the information about your products, and that is one way of embracing the digital platform of selling your products in a very small manner. So whether it is a very small business or whether it is a very very big large organization that you're running, I think the opportunity of digital transformation playing a big role in your business is there. And for doing that, you need to embrace the change. And I think the AAA method, which Dr. Siddharth has mentioned, is something which is very powerful. We can use that. And for the I would say career professionals, those who are into jobs, I think you can learn the skills which are going to be relevant. I would say that the futuristic skills or the 21st century skills which are going to be relevant. For example, anything to do with digital marketing, video editing, or the AIs or cloud computing. All these data science, all these areas, all these fields are going to be very very relevant, and there are many more. Blockchain technology, etc., are going to be future relevant. Those are going to be 21st century skills, and if you are a job professional, if you pick up these skills, if you upskill yourself with these kind of skills, definitely you will be on high demand going forward. So Dr. Siddharth, really I'm very thankful for those insights, those valuable insights from your side. Coming to the next question, what, according to you, are the most critical factors for achieving success as an entrepreneur or as a career professionals who are in their early stages? This, if you could just share your thoughts about, this question. Yeah.
Sure. So before I answer that question, Brojendra, I think the answer is in the question itself and what you spoke just a couple of minutes back, which is embracing discomfort to grow. Nobody can grow without embracing discomfort. And I heard your TEDx talk, it was simply amazing. So amazing work on that, Brojendra. Right? And ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and check out that talk because it gave me some really, really mind blowing insights. Right? And I would say that is the first way to grow, to embrace discomfort, because nothing can be achieved with comfort. Right? Yeah. So, yes, very interesting question. Have you heard the Japanese fish story, Rojendro?
Not really. If you could just
Do
give a
you
hint.
love eating
then-
fish, Rojendro? Do you like eating seafood?
Yeah, yeah. I love fish.
And do you love fish if it is fresh, freshly caught?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So do people, many people, right? Especially the Japanese. The Japanese love fresh fish. Okay. But the problem is the catchment area, which is in the Pacific Ocean, which surrounds Japan, the fish is found way deep, several kilometers into the ocean, not close to these cities. So these shipping vessels that get this fish, they have to travel for several kilometers to get that fresh fish. So what used to happen? The Japanese wanted fresh fish. So they went all the way deep into the ocean, 50, 60 kilometers, caught the fish died, they put it in the cold storage and brought it back to Japan. Japanese were not happy because the fish was not fresh, the taste was not good. So what did these Japanese do? Very smart people. They built large tanks inside the ship. They again went, caught those fish, and put those fish inside those large water tanks. Fin to fin, right? Compressed. What used to happen? The fish used to be stable there, stationary there. When they got it back, still the taste was not up to the mark because the fish was just, you know, stationary, sedentary, not moving. So what did the Japanese do? Very smart people. They had the water tanks, but this time they added a small shark into those tanks. Okay. So what used to happen? The sharks used to eat some of those fishes and make the other fishes swim around, swirl around in the water. So when they came back to the shores, the fish was very fresh, very tasty. We need these sharks in our lives. So all those people out there who are starting off, either in their careers, have aspirations to start their business or have started their business in the form of startups, the first thing is find these sharks. Find yourself mentors, right? This is the most important thing. Find those people who have walked the path that you want to walk. Find those people who have been there and done that. Those people can help you avoid the mistakes, the pitfalls, especially in your field, who can provide you on the guidance on how to go about achieving success. Fast track this process, right? So, this is my first advice, finding yourself mentors. Second thing, very important, is whatever do you do in your life, whether it's for your personal life, whether it's for your organization, very important, have clear cut goals. Have clear cut goals laid down with the tasks against that and the deadlines against that. Simple. Sometimes in trying to do something advanced, we forget the basics. Have your goals clearly laid out and a strong motivation to achieve them. Have a strong courage. We spoke about the courageous lions, right? What do the courageous
Absolutely.
lions do? They speak up, but at the same time, they take risks. They take calculated risks. And of course, have the determination to put in the effort when faced with any setbacks. Challenges or problems are there in everybody's life. Now, when you jump off the cliff with a parachute, two things are going to happen. One is that either the parachute will open and you land safely, or second, you learn how to fly. You're not going to die if you take those calculated risks, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, my second advice to all of you is be focused on what you want to accomplish and how you're going to get there. Take an organized, systematic approach to help you to stay on track, which means creating a structured plan with clear goals, with clear timelines, and like Brojendra, you mentioned a couple of minutes back, identify what skills or what resources are necessary in order to achieve those goals. Either you develop them in yourself or you get people who are skillful in that. But you need to have the necessary skills and resources, period. Right? Third, don't get caught up with the negatives of any situation. You're in a startup, you will have challenges. 80% of the startups, they fail in the first 2 to 3 years, right? It's the statistics we all know. The important thing is stay focused on the positives, so and keep your motivational levels high, aspirations high, which will always prevent you from getting discouraged, right? And the fourth aspect I would say is networking. Very, very important, very, very key. Networking is the key to success. Your network is your net worth. Particularly when you're starting out as an entrepreneur or a career professional, having a large network of contacts can open many doors that may have previously been inaccessible or you didn't even know they existed. It can give you access to new opportunities. One contact can change your entire game. One advice can change your entire game. One resource can change your entire game. So it's a no brainer. Visit exhibitions, visit conferences, join clubs like Rotary clubs or the BNIs of the world. Join them, meet people, speak to people. And then again, this all boils down to your communication. That is one skill you also need to pick up, how to communicate, how to communicate effectively, confidently, charismatically. And all said and done, nothing can replace hard work and determination when it comes to achieving success, right? Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, success is not going to happen overnight. It takes time and effort. Otherwise, everybody would have been a successful entrepreneur. Have a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Stay focused on the positives. Put in hard work and dedication. Period. No rocket science. And this way, nobody can stop you or your organization from reaching desired heights of success? Over to you, Brujendra.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth. I'm not going to repeat all those points for the want of time, but very powerful step-by-step explanation of anybody who is in the starting level of their entrepreneurship or career. I think if somebody can follow these steps judiciously with full commitment, I can guarantee that they are going to achieve what they are going to they plan to achieve. So thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth. And here, let me take the opportunity to again share about my book. This From the Countryside to the Boardroom. This book was launched in the month of August 2022. It became Amazon bestseller on the first day of launch on two categories, on sales and movers and shakers category. So what I have put in this book is the framework to achieve success in any field of life, maybe in business or career or any walk of life. The framework has been actually prepared by encapsulating the life lessons from my journey and also the learnings which I have picked up from the research on the lives of people who have achieved extraordinary success in their life. So I have put all those lessons and learnings into a framework, 6 step from framework to achieve success. So I would suggest, if you have not gone through it, uh, you know go through it, because you will find some values. I am getting amazing feedback from different parts of the country, entire India, and also from other countries. There are so many positive feedback which is coming. So I'm so thankful to those people who have read my book, and I'm also getting very positive news saying that it has helped into their lives in achieving what they want to achieve. So I would suggest our viewers go through it if you have not gone through it. It will definitely help you. And Dr. Siddharth, I really appreciate the way you have very minutely explained about the points you have shared for against any every questions. And we have come to almost the last part of this show. At last, I would like to request you, if you have anything for our viewers, if you want to share, I would request you to please share, because you are a person who are trying so hard to add value to the people who are, the business people, or who are in the career. So I definitely would have so many things to tell to our viewers. So if you have any last words for our viewers, why don't you please share for our viewers?
Sure. Thank you so much, Brujendra. I would like to ask the interviewer a quick question. Brujendra, do you know which is the richest place on this planet?
Yeah, but the soul, the mind,
Close. Any other guesses?
the heart.
Okay. One more time. Give it one more shot.
You said the richest place, you said,
Place.
right?
Place on this planet.
Place on this planet.
Yep.
I think, yeah. So are you asking about geography, or you are asking about?
That's a trick question. So you can give me an answer in terms of geography also. You can name maybe the oil fields in Saudi, or you can name the gold and diamond mines in Africa. You can say that. That's fine.
So I would say the person who lives the happy mind is the biggest best place. I think the richest place in this universe, I would say. Yeah. So I won't
That's a
attempt for
very
any kind of a geography, but the happiest mind, the most content mind, the person who has achieved what he wants to achieve in his life, who has served the purpose, who is living a fulfilled life, the happy mind, the joyful mind, the mind where there is a lot of contentment, happiness, and joyfulness. I think this is the best place, I would say.
That's a very heart-touching answer, Rojendro. And I didn't think of it from this perspective. I have a lot of appreciation for this answer. But you know which is the richest place on this planet? It is the grave. Yes, it is the grave. Because many of us shall die with so much of knowledge, wisdom, and experience that we are definitely going to make the grave the richest place in the world. I strongly believe that when you learn something, something of significance, because of which you are getting benefit, it becomes your responsibility to share it with the world. Just like how you are doing it, Brojendro, just like how I am aspiring to do it and I am trying to do it in my own capacity, right? Remember that the greatest investment that anybody can do today is not in the stock market, not in the property or in some get rich quick scheme. You are a startup entrepreneur, fantastic. You are a corporate professional, early, mid career, doesn't matter. Important thing is please start investing in your self development. Okay, that's one important message that I want to give you. And before we part ways today, I just wanted to share another story because I love sharing stories. May I, Brajendra?
Please go ahead, Dr. Siddharth.
Okay. I am also a fan of cricket. I don't know if you like cricket. Brajendra, do you like cricket?
I do like, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So it was the year 1989, and India was in Pakistan in Sialkot, and they were playing these test matches against these amazing players like Waqar Yunus, Wasim
Yeah.
Akram, right? And uh, India had somehow managed to draw the first three tests. They needed to save the fourth test because a loss here would mean they are losing the entire series. So on the fourth day, India had to bat all day to ensure that the match is not taken away by our arch rivals, right? So the pitch was green and the batsmen had only two choices. Either they sacrifice their body or they sacrifice their wicket. Okay, so what happened? It was fast bowlers like Waqar Yunis throwing their amazing high speed 150 kilometers per hour kind of balls, and Indian batsmen were getting one after the other. Azharuddin got out, Ravi Shastri ji got out. Now it was Navjot Singh Sidhu, and then came this young batsman. You all know him as the master blaster, the legend, our very own Sachin Tendulkar. And it was his first match. He was just 15 and a half years old. Okay, he came on the pitch. He was welcomed by a bouncer by Waqar Yunis. Okay, the ball just went full speed and it broke his nose. It fractured his nose and blood started flowing out. He fell on the ground. The physiotherapist and the medical staff, they came. They brought a stretcher with them. At that point of time, they used to get those ice packs to put ice pack and sat it on. No other medical treatment. Navjot Singh Sidhu said, "Yaar, I hope he doesn't die. Such fast balls, such a young boy." He went close to Sachin to ask him, "Is he fine?" And Sachin told him in his ears very softly, "मैं खेलेगा." In his voice, "मैं खेलेगा." Right? I will play. And the next ball, with full courage and vigor, he hit it for the boundary. Right? He hit it for the
Right.
boundary. Now, life is like running a marathon. Many a times we start sprinting in the first mile itself, consume most of our energy, like starting a startup or a new job, a new career, and then we get exhausted at a very quick phase of our life. And then we start getting into, depression and anxiety and all of this. But the real problem here is not all of that. The real problem is our perception. Our perception, which tells us that an adversity is a certain way, and therefore we must react to it in a certain way. Nevertheless, like in your TEDx talk, we need to embrace adversity. If we embrace adversity, Projendra, I'm sure you'll agree with me, we can turn it to our advantage, right? So remember, friends, when everyone else is running away, we should push forward. When everyone else sees an adversity, we should see an opportunity. And when no one else sees a way out, we should lead the way. This is my final message to the audience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth Kishore Gaur. Friends, this was our guest, very special guest, a person with versatile personalities, Dr. Siddharth Kishore Gaur, a very qualified expert in the fields of customer success, business innovation, and digital transformation. He is a TEDx speaker, keynote speaker internationally. He has been recognized with so many awards. So thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth, for coming into our show as a guest, for gracing this particular event, and your insights all those areas will be definitely helpful for all our viewers. Thank you so much, and I personally enjoyed interacting with you. The way you interact is really amazing, and I definitely look forward to having you as our guest in some other show in some other time. Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth.
Thank you so much, Brojendro, for inviting me to this prestigious platform where some really, really amazing speakers have come and shared their insights and added value to the lives of so many others. You're doing a phenomenal, phenomenal job, Brojendro, in impacting lives, making a mark on the society, and anybody who's anywhere struggling with their business, struggling with their careers, can get a lot of value from this, what you're doing. Right? So, a lot of gratitude to you and all the best for all your future episodes. And let's reach success by design.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth. To our viewers, thank you, viewers, for coming into the show. I'm sure you would have enjoyed the show. You would have something to learn from today's show. I will again catch you in our next episode with some other special guest. But for today, I'd like to say bye bye to you and take care. Do well. Thank you so much. Bye bye.